I love artichokes. They're one of my favorite vegetables, and I've seen so many videos cutting away the leaves just to get to the heart. It breaks my heart to see it happen because there's so much flavor and texture in those leaves. This is one of the last recipes I ever got a chance to make with my nonna, and I'm so proud to share it with you today. Let's make some braised artichokes.
Start by preparing your aromatics and seasonings. I have a good handful of parsley, and I need about 4 teaspoons of this once it's chopped. I'm also using some fresh mint. You'll need about 2 teaspoons once that's chopped.
My nonna used catmint for this recipe. It used to grow in the cracks of her sidewalk in her garden. But it's hard to find unless you've grown it yourself, so you can just use regular mint.
Then crush and mince 2 cloves of garlic. You can do this with a knife or a garlic press, whichever you prefer. Set all of these aside while we prepare our artichokes.
When you're buying artichoke, you want to make sure the head is really tight and compact and that it hasn't opened up yet. You also want it to feel quite heavy for its size. If it's light, the inside is probably starting to dehydrate and you won't get a very good flavor. You also want to make sure it's nice and green and you don't have too many brown spots.
You'll want to start by removing the excess leaves that are starting to grow down the stem. I also remove 1 or 2 layers of the leaves that are growing on the artichoke itself. A lot of people discard the stem, but it's actually my favorite part, so I'm going to show you how you can prepare it. Be sure to trim 1 centimeter off the bottom of your stem. Then rub it with some lemon juice to prevent it from browning. You want to peel a fair bit of the stem, at least 2 to 3 layers of peeling. When you start to notice the color is a lot paler, you can stop peeling. Artichokes will brown very quickly, so make sure that anything you've cut or peeled, you rub down with lemon straight away. And as for the bits at the bottom of the globe that you just can't get with a peeler, I work my way in with a paring knife. And make sure to rub the exposed areas with more of that lemon. The edge of each leaf will have a tiny little sharp piece. We want to make sure that we're removing that from the entire artichoke. So start by cutting off about 1.5 to 2 centimeters off the top of your artichoke. Again, rub it with lemon. And then using a pair of scissors, go around and trim off the tops of each one of the leaves. You'll need to do this for every single leaf. I find the easiest way to braise these and remove the choke is by cutting them in half. So very carefully slice down the center of the globe and all the way down into the stem. Once you've cut it open, you'll see all of these really fine hairs in the center of your artichoke. And we're going to scoop that out with a spoon. While you're scooping out the hairs, make sure to remove a few of those center leaves. They have that little sharp bit at the edge and it won't taste nice when cooked. Don't remove all of the center leaves, only the ones that are a little bit purpley or have a sharp edge. The other center leaves will get really tender and you can eat them whole. Now give your artichoke a good rinse, making sure that you get the water in and under all of the leaves to remove any debris. And one more time, give it a swipe over with a lemon. Continue the process with the rest of your artichokes. I'm using 3 very large artichokes for this recipe, but my nonna used to prefer the smaller ones, so if you can find that, you'll need about 4 to 5.
Artichokes are in season in the Northern Hemisphere from March until June. The earlier ones are a little bit more flavorful, but you can still find great ones through the early summer months.
Place your artichokes in your braising dish, cut side up. This will allow for all of the aromatics and seasonings to get into the leaves. You'll want a braising dish or a pot that's high enough that allows the water to come above the artichoke. Top the artichokes with the parsley, mint, and garlic from earlier. Then sprinkle over about 3 teaspoons of salt and crack on some freshly cracked black pepper. Pour 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 tablespoons of red wine over the artichoke. If you don't want to use red wine, you could use white wine, lemon juice, or vinegar. Add enough water so that it comes up to the tops of the artichoke. Pop the lid on your pan and set it to medium heat.
These will need to cook for about an hour or until they're tender and a knife easily pierces through them.
This may take slightly less time if your artichokes are smaller. After an hour, check your artichokes for doneness. I like to pierce them with a knife through the stem and just into the heart. If it goes in very smoothly with no resistance, your artichokes are ready. Another good way to test is to peel off one of the outer leaves and make sure that the flesh is soft and cooked.
And you'll know it's done by doing a taste test. So this is how you eat an artichoke. You've got this really nice fleshy bit here. And this side is really hard and you don't want to eat that bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the fleshy bit, put it towards your mouth, and just use your teeth to scrape off that nice, delicious flesh. And you pull it off just like that. And you do the other side just the same. And that's how you eat an artichoke. Those are perfectly cooked and taste just like my nonnas. So what do you think? Have you ever tried artichokes? Let me know in the comments below. If you're looking for another amazing Italian vegetable side dish, you have to try my zucchini ripiene, stuffed zucchini. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, and while you're there, be sure to subscribe because I come out with a new video every week. See you next time.